All right, thank you everyone so much for coming tonight. We will start it off with questions in the room. So please wait a minute if you are on Zoom and you'll get your questions shortly.
Coach Travis did a great job defensively. And what were sort of the things that you were trying to take away?
Well, unbelievable quarterback, and they've been really explosive on offense. I want to say that Fran Brown has done an unbelievable job with that program in a short amount of time, both recruiting and schematically, and bringing in a quarterback that's been there a short time and has been tremendous. So we knew we had our hands full with the quarterback and the receivers. And I think we disrupted the routes. We're able to get some pressure on them and got some early third down stops in the game. I thought our defense, I know they'd rather have that last drive back, but they were phenomenal the whole game.
Did you do anything special with Gadsden? It's the first time he's been limited.
Yeah, I mean, that's all our defensive staff, to be honest with you. I don't spend any time in there. I totally trust our defensive staff. I got my hands full on the other side of the ball. But they've done a great job and been much more aggressive on defense the last 2 weeks. And, fortune favors the bold. I think it paid off for us.
Coach, you obviously made your first trip out east as a member of the ACC this week. You're right back at it next week. How do you handle that back-to-back trips like that?
Yeah, well, we do a first-class job on our guys traveling. We have a big plane. Our guys are treated well. We stay at nice hotels. It's not that big of a deal. We get our bus gets dropped off on the tarmac. We take a big jet, get dropped off at tarmac, go to the hotel. Our guys, we got out early. That's a big deal. Another day, it's expensive, but our administration stepped up and thought it was important. And I think it showed how our guys were ready and settled. We got to turn around and do it again. So that's part of college football today. We've said all along, we are excited to play in these venues. This was an unbelievable environment. It was loud. The hats off to their crowd. It's a great stadium and a great crowd. So it's fun. That's why you play and coach, is to be in these types of environments.
Has this experience assuaged any concerns you had about that kind of constant travel schedule?
No, I never had really a concern, to be completely honest with you. I know we do a good job traveling. Our guys are mature, and now we got to get back and recover and take care of school and then come back again. But we're thrilled to be in the ACC, and we thank Jim Phillips and the ACC for inviting us and letting us be a part of this unbelievable conference. We were without a conference, and luckily our leadership and direction, we were able to land in an unbelievable conference, and we hope to be here for a long time.
I think a lot of people think it's hard to come across the country, though.
Yeah,
it's hard to be a substantial underdog.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about any of that? Or
what we talked about was it's not a big deal, and that it's gonna be loud. We practiced all week with all the last 11 days with a lot of crowd noise. We could not simulate that noise. That obviously affected us. We had some illegal procedure penalties, but really it's what we said at the end of the day. We said it's a football game. We love football, and these are the kind of environments when you're a kid trying to play with the crowd noise or simulate it. This is why you do it. So our message was play with great freedom and love for the game and enjoy the environment.
You talk about the resilience of this team, and you give up a late touchdown there, and then you just go right down the field as if there's nothing, convert that fourth down. Just talk about the resilience of the group.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, our guys, I've said all along, I've never been around a group of student athletes with this much character and resiliency. Never doubt that. They're always up for the task. And so I think you got a good look at that our guys just don't quit. And they're talented and hungry for more.
You dominated in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Did you follow the game plan?
Yeah, I mean, I think, defensively was a big part of that. We were able to get them off the field, and we were able to manage some drives that were a little herky-jerky at times, but we made some plays. We had a holding penalty that cost us a touchdown. And then we had a really bad break on Zarin falling. It was just a bad break. Our defense had been unbelievable all the way in the first half. So, but going into halftime, our guys didn't blink. We knew that they would come out firing and get it going a little bit on offense, which they were able to do. But I think our game plan was good. That's a really good football team. I think you'll find with the rest of the season, they're very well coached and very talented.
What do you think you did with McCord that other teams haven't?
Yeah, that's the defensive side of the ball has done that. I know they wanted to pressure him. They wanted to take away their RPOs. They're a really good RPO team. Have some good wide receivers, and just try to make him uncomfortable because he's been so comfortable back there. He looks like a guy that's played a lot of football. And so at times we were able to hurry him a little bit. And I think the other part of it is I don't know what the numbers are. I have not seen the statistics, but I felt like we stopped the run game and kind of made them one-dimensional. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it felt that way. And then when you make a team one-dimensional, it's tough.
What was, as you're getting your guys ready for that final drive, what is sort of your message to them as they're heading up?
Yeah, I said, hey, we're going to drive down, we're going to spot the ball in the middle of the field, and we're going to kick a field goal and get out of here. And they all yelled, and obviously we were able to do that. And Emmett's been incredible. Emmett Kenny, he's been remarkable. I'm not going to jinx him, but he's got a pretty good streak going.
All right, we will take questions on Zoom. Please raise your hand. Kaushik?
Yeah, coach, on that 4th and 9, can you just take us through that play call real quick?
Yeah, it came off a timeout, right? They had lined up and they were in man coverage, and they started off in man, and then they switched to zone, and then they went back to some man coverage on that last drive. So kind of had a feel for that. So we just tried to isolate Alec. If they went one-on-one, our guys got to be able to beat their guy. And so we came back, we switched his side, we moved him to the other side of the field. And we talked about, if it's zone, we have a concept to the 3 receiver side. If it's man with Alec, we got to win. He's got to win. And the communication, I was actually able to talk to Ashton on the headset, because it wasn't, we got out there so early. I saw the coverage, and I'm like, you got to go to Alec. And so he did a great job holding the free safety with his eyes, throwing a great ball, and Alec created a lot of separation, made the play. But the other part of it is our guys got back up to the line of scrimmage, and we work on this all the time, able to center the ball, get a few more yards. We know Emmett likes it in the middle of the field. So we were able to send it pretty much directly in the middle of the field, and then put him in a position to kick the game winner.
Ben Parker?
Yeah, coach, just talk about what you got from Chris Davis tonight. He has some tough yards in a big game there. Just talk about what you got from Chris Davis tonight.
Two great, true freshmen running backs that are very physical. The game is really important. One of the things that we've really emphasized in recruiting is beyond talent and size and all that, is guys that love football and love competing. And those two guys personify that. And I think like attracts like. Our guys really love football. And so we attracted 2 great running backs. The other one is a true freshman, Cole Tabb, who's going to be really special too, which will eventually come back from an injury. But those guys were fantastic. They're tough. They're gritty. They give us yards after contact. And they've done a good job in protection as well, which is hard for young running backs.
Dylan?
Yeah, coach, Mitch Legber had that pick 6. Kind of talking about what he's brought to the defense and what you saw out of him tonight.
Well, Mitch is a guy that has done everything he's been asked to do, prior to our staff getting here. I know they were really low on running backs, and Mitch was able to play running back the year before we got here, and did a great job. The guy's an incredible kid, just a real team player. It was great. He got eyes on the ball, and then did a nice job getting in the end zone and picking up some big blocks. Our guys work on that a lot, getting out in front and trying to pick up the quarterback and getting the ball in the end zone.
We have a flight to catch, so we can take 2 more questions. Kaushik?
Yeah, coach, David Bailey played really well tonight, just able to generate pressure all game. Could you talk about a little bit about his play?
Yeah, David has, come a long ways for sure. He's a talented guy. He gives us a threat off the edge, and, it's not all about sacks, obviously. It's just hurrying the quarterback, making him move a little bit off his spot, and making him throw a little bit early. And I think we did a good job of doing that tonight, and David was a big part of that.
Any other questions for Coach?
Yeah.
A quickie about not a long field goal, but the level of confidence of your kicker in making it under pressure.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. He replaced a guy that was arguably the best kicker in the country last year. He's kicking for the Rams, Josh Carty. So those are big shoes to fill. And frankly, I didn't know if anybody could fill those shoes, and he has. He's been amazing. Just how consistent he is. And then, we jump off sides. You move the ball back 5 yards, and he still hits it down the middle of the upright. So a lot of confidence. Emmett, he's just, you really don't know what you got with kickers until you get in a game. You can kick really well in fall camp and practice, but as you guys know, it really comes down to being able to do it under the bright lights with pressure, and he's been phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We will have
Thank you.
Daniel's next.
Go Card.
All right, we are now back with Ashton Daniels. We will take questions in the room the exact same way we did, and then we'll take questions on Zoom.
It looked like you guys celebrated pretty good, waving to the fans at the end, their students, and then taking selfies out there. Is that normal, or was there like something special that you guys are kind of celebrating capture?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's something special. It's our first ACC game. You know, that's history for us. That's history for Stanford, especially a program who, not gonna lie, we've been struggling in the past 2 seasons. And, you know, that's such a big win for us, especially early on in the season against a great team like Syracuse. You know, I think the guys were just so fired up, they couldn't really handle their emotions. But yeah, I'm just proud of how our guys fought tonight, and I'm extremely proud of them.
Coach was talking a little bit about the throw that put you guys in position for the field goal. But can you take us through that play from your perspective and how you decided where you were going to go with the ball?
Yeah, you know, they left Alec one-on-one, and the amount of trust and you know, respect and for our connection that I have with Alec, I knew that there was, you know, no one else I could go to on that play. When Alec's one-on-one, he's going to do everything he can to catch that ball. So all I did was give him a chance. He made an outstanding play, and I'm just proud of him and, you know, what he's become in this past year.
It is a pretty unique experience, I think, for a college team to get a cross-country road trip. I know you guys have a few of them. But is there like a memorable or anything weird about the travel, or what are you gonna like? What was the travel like for you?
Yeah, you know, not necessarily. I think we handled the travel extremely well. You know, 5-hour flight. I think a lot of the guys watched a movie and then slept a good majority of the flight. So, you know, it was kind of over just like that. And I think something that our staff did, which helped us out a lot, was we stayed on West Coast time. You know, so when we had something in the morning, we'd wake up at 11, and that's like 8 our time. So, you know, that prepared us pretty well. And then obviously this felt like a 4:30 game for us. So, you know, I think the guys were extremely prepared, and that's, you know, hats off to our coaching staff for that amazing plan.
One-handed catch that Alec made for the touchdown. Is that just like a normal thing for him in practice?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, he's that guy that, you know, no matter where I put the ball, I have faith that he's going to go up and catch it. And, you know, that was just another one of his spectacular catches on display. But instead it was on ESPN in a big time game for us. So, yeah, that was outstanding.
You had a tough environment to play in. You obviously it's first road game of the season. Just kind of talk about what that was like and how you were able to overcome just a hostile environment.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, hats off to Syracuse's fans. This was probably the craziest environment that I've played in. You know, every third down, you can't hear anything. You know, I'm having to cover my ears to hear the play in the headset. And, you know, it's a hostile environment that, you know, the guys feed off of. You know, so I think they did a great job of making it really hard for us. But we fed off the energy. We kind of took it, got momentum, and ran with it, and didn't look back from there.
Troy talked about the helmet communication and how that factored in at the end of the game and that final drive. What a difference is that from last year when that wasn't an option?
Yeah, it's a huge difference, you know. Sometimes, you know, when we go tempo or when we need to, you know, get a play call in as soon as possible, I think that helps us. It helps us a lot. Not really letting the defense get their calls from the sidelines, you know, not letting them set up and keeping them on their toes, I think is really what helped us in that last drive. So, yeah, that helmet to our player to coach communication was huge for us in that fourth quarter.
I know it didn't necessarily impact the game in a huge way, but like the 4th and 1, if you guys went for it from deep in your end, like what message did you take away from going for it there?
Yeah, you know, I had absolutely no doubt in my mind that we were going to go get that first down, especially with Justin Lamson running the ball. He's one of the hardest runners that I've ever seen play in my life. And it's such a blessing to have him, you know, back there with me. I think we're a great duo back there. And, you know, I have all my trust in him. I have all my trust in Coach, you know, who came out with a great game plan. And that was a big 4th down conversion for us.
Ben Parker?
Yeah, just kind of what was the key to you being able to kind of stay calm and composed? I mean, you threw 2 interceptions, I think, in this game, yet you were to go down and throw the game-winning drive. Just kind of what was the key to you kind of playing well and that final drive amid a couple of mistakes that you wish you could have back, of course?
Yeah, I think, you know, what kept me calm was our defense. You know, they did an outstanding job. A pick 6, another interception, a lot of 3rd down stops. you know, they did everything. And I knew that no matter what, even if I, you know, turned the ball over, which I did twice tonight, I'm not happy about that. But, you know, I had faith in our defense. I wasn't upset. I came to the sidelines and I knew that, you know, we were going to get the ball back and we are going to have another chance to go down and score. So hats off to our defense for that.
Take two more questions. Kaushik?
Oh yeah, Ashton. You know, obviously sort of a new offensive line unit out there. Than the one expected maybe from the first game. And you know, with that, you know, there may be some mistakes. How do you sort of stay composed in those situations where the line may make a mistake? And what's just sort of your communication between you and them?
Yeah, you know, obviously I'm gonna push them as much as I can when they're out there. You know, young guys like Khalil House is out there. You know, it's extremely hard when you come in, you don't early enroll and you learn the offense that fast and you know go out and contribute and execute on game time. So you know, I think that they did an outstanding job handling that, especially in an environment like tonight. It was loud, you know, sometimes they couldn't get off their calls like they wanted to. But you know, they persevered through that. They fought till the very end. I think they did an outstanding job protecting tonight. Our running game looked great tonight as well. So yeah, I love those guys. They played their hearts out tonight, and I'm extremely thankful for them.
Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you, guys.
We'll finish up with kicker Emmett Kenny.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll finish up tonight with kicker Emmett Kenny, and we'll start with questions in the room again.
I guess. The coach, I guess, was the same question. The distance was no problem for you. How did you feel, your confidence going into that?
Absolutely. You know, I felt really confident going out there, mainly because, you know, I think I have the best snapper and holder and line blocking for me in the country. And they did their job all night, helping me try to do my job to the best of my ability. And yeah, once I saw it sailing through, it was a dream come true.
Was there any hesitation, you know, after the penalty got backed up? Did it even cross your mind at all? Like anything, or just kind of business as usual?
No, you know, as kickers, we like to stay in that zone, try to, you know, whatever gets thrown our way, we have to try to forget about it and just move on. So, you know, you got to play the hand that you're dealt and a backup five. And, you know, it's not that different of a kick at the end of the day. So just approach it the exact same and let it rip.
The 52-yarder. Talk about that just a little bit. That was a drill that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was an exciting one. I knew going out that it was going to be a 50 plus. And, you know, I'd have to put some juice on it. But once again, Connor did a great job getting the ball down and set me up for success. And I'm happy that I was able to put it through.
Ben Parker.
Yeah, just talk about how fun was it to kick in the dome?
Absolutely. Kicking in the dome was awesome. You know, not having to deal with the wind, that's a kicker's dream. So, you know, I think it really helped us out, you know, making sure that we didn't have to worry about making adjustments. We were able to just go out there and do the job to the best of our ability. And it was definitely fun on kickoffs as well. Able to put a few of those out the back of the end zone. So it was a lot of fun.
Kaushik.
Yeah, Ahmed, just got to ask, has Josh Carty sent you a text? And if he did, what'd he say?
You know, I haven't checked my phone yet. I'm sure he did. I know he was watching over there on Pacific time. So, you know, I'm sure he sent me a text, and we'd love to still stay in contact, you know, several times a week, and we support each other, whether, you know, he's out there for the Rams or I'm kicking here for the Cards. So I'm sure he sent one over.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, Emmett.
Thanks, guys.